In this part 9 of Beginning Rhino on Mac with touchpad and mouse, we are going to be talking about two different ways of creating solid forms. The first one being using straightforward commands, and the second one being using the command ExtrudeCrv. And let's start with this toolbar section. Let's look at this box icon. If you are using your touchpad, if you're using a touchpad, use your two fingers, single click, but give it a pretty long click until you see this pop-up menu. And let's create a sphere by single clicking the sphere icon. And now I'm prompted to enter a center for my sphere. Let's do 0 and hit return. You can either enter a diameter or single click anywhere on your viewport. And let me close that menu, exit the top view viewport, and go into the perspective view. Now I'm in a display mode, which is called wireframe, so I couldn't see my form very well. What you can do is, if you are using your touchpad, you can use two fingers, single click on this perspective viewport title, and you can change your display mode to ghosted. This ghosted display mode allows you to see display of your model in a semi-transparent shaded mode, which is the mode that I find most helpful in most of my modeling process. And you can try the other display mode to see which one you like better. And while we are looking at different display mode, let's select rendered display mode. This will give you a relatively true to reality mode, so that you can see how this object will look like once it's 3D printed. And if you are using a mouse, let me switch to my mouse really quick. What you want to do in order to create solid form using this icon is that you can right single click, like a single long click, until you see this pop-up menu, and all the other thing goes the same from there. And let me close that. And if you were to want to change the display mode using your mouse, you will want to right single click on this perspective viewport title, and then you can change it back to ghosted by single clicking ghosted in the drop down menu. And that way you are able to see this model in this semi-transparent shaded mode. And now let's talk about some other ways of creating solid form. And I'm actually going to enter this perspective individual view. Let me go ahead and delete this sphere. And let me select my lines that I created in previous demonstrations. If you single click to select one of the line, hold the Shift key on your keypad and single click on the other line. That way you can have both lines selected. And now that I have my gumball activated, I can move this set of lines around to where you need it to be. And now I want to demonstrate the command ExtrudeCrv. So you can start by typing in ExtrudeCrv, hit return when you finished entering, and now it's asking me to select the curves that I want to extrude, which in this case is both of my curves on my screen right now. And now I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to move around my perspective view so that we can see better. I will check this solid box if you want to create a solid form instead of creating two surfaces. And you can either have your curves extrude in both sides, or if you uncheck both sides, it will only extrude in one direction. And you can either assign a specific distance for your extrusion or single click anywhere on the screen when you are done. And this way we are able to create a solid form with the help of the polygon command and also using the offset command. And then with the combination of ExtrudeCrv command, we are able to create a solid form like this. And again, if you want to view this solid form in another view, you can switch it to rendered view to see how the light will reflect off of this object. And that is two ways to create solid forms in Rhino. And in the next part, we are going to talk about some edge blending techniques associated with Rhino.